Okay,
We will see.
so very good afternoon to one and all present over here for this online gathering. It gives me immense pleasure and it is matter of pride to chair the session for eminent scientists and personality like Dr. Narottam Sahu, especially at UGC HRDC Ahmedabad. On behalf of UGC HRDC Ahmedabad, I, Dr. Mrunal Ambasna from Bhaktakavi Narsingh Mehta University, warmly welcome you all and express my special regards to our guest and speaker, Dr. Narottam Sahuji. Welcome, sir. I would like to give a brief information, brief profile of Dr. Sahu. Sahu sir is a scientist by profession and science educator by training, who has taken science to the common people. Dr. Sahu is at present serving as the advisory member and member secretary of Gujarat Council on Science and Technology, GUJCOST, Government of Gujarat. He was the senior scientist at Gujarat Science City, Ahmedabad, with which he has been associated since 2001. At GUJCOST, Sir has worked hard to give a new dimension to the promotion and popularization of science and technology in Gujarat. Before working in Gujarat, Sahuji was a postdoc fellow at Homi Bhabha Center for Science Education at Tata Institute of Fundamental Research, Mumbai, for 2 years. Dr. Sahu completed his doctoral work in chemical sciences at Regional Research Laboratory under CSIR Bhubaneswar and was conferred with PhD degree by Utkal University in 1999. For his pioneer research work in lignine chemistry, Dr. Sahu was awarded with gold medal by the Institute of Engineers in 1998. His contribution to the field of natural science brought him the Young Scientist Award by Department of Science and Technology, Government of Odisha in 2000. He was conferred with Dr. B.C. Dev Award for Science Popularization in 2014 by Indian Science Congress Association. He got the recognition of Best Personality in Science and Technology for 2015 from Computer Society of India in association with Institute of Engineers, India. The National Science Academy, Indian National Science Academy, conferred his prestigious Indira Gandhi Prize for Science Popularization in 2017 to Dr. Sahu. He has received fellowship. He has received fellowship on Sustainability in Science Museum from Arizona State University, USA during 2016-2017. Dr. Sahu's innovative effort towards science and communication, motivational research, innovation, management, and especially the governance and policy development have made a significant impact on growth and development of science and technology ecosystem. So he has a huge personality, and sir, we are fortunate enough that you have spent time for us, and we hope and we expect we will surely have a successful session with you, sir. Up to you, Dilip sir, and up to you, Narottam Sahuji. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much, Dr. Mrunal sir.
Thank you, sir.
And dear Dilip Basav sir, all the faculties attending this program, UGC Replacer course from across the country, and all the chemistry faculties from different universities. On behalf of Gujarat Council on Science and Technology, GUJCOST, Department of Science and Technology, Government of Gujarat, we welcome all the participants, all the faculties, all the senior course instructors. Just now I saw Professor Anamik Shah sir was conducting a session, and with all the session faculties for this particular refresher course. And I wish the very best from this refresher program for their academic achievement, academic curriculum, students development, research ecosystems, and overall fulfilling of taking science among the students and for the society. I am very much thankful to Gujarat University and Professor Dilip Basava sir for his kind invitation. And in fact, we are all going through this very challenging situation of COVID-19 pandemic situation. In fact, this situation, I am thinking that it's a blessings in a disguise. So though we are missing our regular classroom situation, interacting with the students, visiting, conducting the experiment in the lab, but in another way, it is also time to groom with the technology so that we can connect all the faculties, all the institutions, all the facilities all across the country or elsewhere in the national or international scenario, and see that how best we can carry out our job through this technological interventions. So that is also helpful, helped me to join this program virtually. So I thanks to Gujarat University for conducting this program, and thanks to my invitation for this one. And I feel privileged to have some sort of interaction which we are doing for our state universities and institutions in the different branches of science. And today I take this opportunity to discuss with specifically for our chemistry faculties, chemical sciences, chemical engineering, and who are playing a very central role in all developmental activities and achievement. So I have a brief presentation. So as I have given a task of discussing the funding opportunities for research and development in particularly chemical sciences. So I have preparing some sort of information guidelines and some sort of a very tips for all the research faculties pursuing a career in chemistry, and also carrying out their own research in the laboratory, and also guiding the students to take the research and developmental work in the cutting edge of science and technology. So on this topic, I will be discussing with you for a few minutes. But before going to the presentation, I would like to share the thoughts and the spirit of our Honorable Prime Ministers on the research, how he has giving a new dimension for this one.
Our former Prime Minister, Lal Bahadur Shastri ji, gave us the slogan, Jai Jawan, Jai Kisan. 20 years ago, in a historic address at Pokhran, our great Prime Minister Atalji had recognized the contributions of science and technology for India. He added, Jai Vigyan, Jai Jawan, Jai Kisan, Jai Vigyan. I believe it is now time to take one more step forward. I wish to add Jai Anusandhan. Therefore, the slogan now becomes Jai Jawan, Jai Kisan, Jai Vigyan, Jai Anusandhan.
So with Jai Jawan, Jai Kisan, Jai Vigyan and Jai Anusandhan, I would like to take this journey for our chemistry, which is a central to all sciences and which crosses over into other sciences and other disciplines, and open the boundaries and bringing the opportunity how it can be associated and take the central role in designing the physics, biology, in even in computer and engineering science are taking the lead in the central sciences. So we are fortunate to have a choice and a profession in chemistry, which is just like an open parachute, and we can land it over in any of the subject with our new ideas, new innovations and new thoughts. So it can be medicine, it can be biology, which yesterday we have seen that how the two of our women scientists, they have crossed to the top of the world's recognition Nobel Prize. Then we have the biochemistry, which has a very leading role. We have the hardcore physics, atomic physics, nuclear physics, spectroscopy, materials. We have environmental sciences, we have plant sciences, botany, zoology, we have environment science, we have astronomy, astrophysics, we have the geology, exploring the science of our Mother Earth. And like these things, in every situation, there is a role for chemistry and chemical sciences and chemistry faculties. So like this present pandemic situation, COVID-19, there is that's the reason I was mentioning that it's a blessings in disguise, that how best we can understand our local situation, our own situation, and how we can best derive a solution to resolve it. So this has bringing that type of independence, that type of leadership, that how best a chemistry faculty or chemistry professor can inspire his thoughts, his action, his contribution to the not only to the student, to the entire society or to the entire humankind. While analyzing the present, we have 7 key themes based on our interviews with the key stakeholders, landscape research, and further focused dialogue with the community. We identified 7 major themes that may drive the change in the chemical sciences. Among the 7, 3 of these trends may directly impact the chemical sciences. That includes the role of chemical sciences, demand for chemical sciences, and funding structure, institutions, and education. That also make a point to this discussion. And the balance 4 of the themes may fundamentally change the world in which the chemical sciences exist, like technology development, openness, social trends, globalizations, and like these things. So it has a huge responsibility, huge recognitions, huge, you can say, a personal satisfaction that yes, we are working not only in this narrow compartment of chemistry or chemical sciences or chemical engineering, we are having a wider trends in technology. Our openness has opened all the boundaries in each disciplines. It has opened the interdisciplinary research and a curriculum in many of the undergraduate, postgraduate, and research curriculums. It has a globalization look and globalization feel also. And we have all the social trends and social commitments and social obligations also, that how best the chemistry can be their problem solver. While discussing this current situation, last 8 months or sometimes before, nobody was known about this coronavirus or this pandemic situation that can be changed in the not only one state, 2 state nation, it's the entire continent of the planet Earth of these things. So while we are discussing, we are seeing the trends when the initial stages were there. We are on the lockdown, where we are working from the home. There was thinking the medical healthcare officials, government, policymakers, they were thinking that only that ventilator can help them. So there was a lots of trends goes to the ventilator development. Then it was discussed, no, ventilator is not the only, so we have to need very different types of face mask with the nanocoat shield or this other things also. We need logistics and healthcare products and food supplies. We have modeling computation of biosystems related to COVID-19 responses. We have to design our medical oxygenator generators for hospitals or with the oxygen enriched air. We have to design personal oxygenators for individuals also, analyzing, modeling, and design of individual protection mask with aerosols, biological contaminants, applications of a 3D printing technology to mask and individual oxygenators, waste and wastewater treatment, exhaust gas treatment, and so on. The list will be goes on, and we are experiencing to this problem statements every day and every night also. So this type of problem statements are now giving a opportunity that how best we can work on these local issues and to give some sort of contributions of our knowledge, experiences, and expertise to the society. While we are talking about another bigger problems in the world like climate change, so there is a chemistry, a very responsibility, very recognizable roles in the climate change research. The problem statement would be like impact of a change in chemical compositions of climate, impact of climate change in chemical compositions, chemistry or climate interactions, integrating biogeochemistry and in a broader and a more comprehensive earth system models, waste and wastewater treatment, exhaustion of gas treatment, designing of the gas chamber, gas towers. In fact, in Gujarat, we have our Ankleshwar system was also there, where we are looking forward some sort of good solutions who are establishing a tower, installing a tower which can absorb all the pollutants from the local area air, and to give a very healthy and a very comfortable air for these local peoples. So while talking about computer sciences and computer engineering, also there also we are seeing a chemistry in the very central role. Like computer science adds new dimension to the study of chemistry. Study of chemistry is also enhanced by computer applications from the recent surge in technology, combines computational and chemical science, leading to new discoveries, interdisciplinary programs, and Nobel Prizes. Also, effect of chemistry in computer sciences and engineering includes chemical compounds in hardwares like optical fiber, printed circuit board, PCB, semiconductor, LCD, lithium-ion battery, and so on. And every aspects of manufacturing, design, or product development, like even starting from the simple or a single resistor to capacitor to the transistor to the integrated circuit. Everywhere there is a role of chemistry for optimization of the materials as well as the putting into in the compactness, so that the computer industry, computer engineering, or the more advanced systems can work. So bioengineering and bioinformatics also has a very distinct role. So the list can go with every discipline and every area. I just put here from some 2 to 3 examples like how to identify the very workable and very pertinent challenging situation problem statement for which we have to start thinking, and we have to start our contribution for this research and development, and for which we need this funding agency. And funding agency is also, there is also pressure on the funding agency, not only to fund the projects or research proposals that has been coming from the different PIs in different discipline, but now funding agencies are also very clear that unless until we have a societal problem or the problem which has a marketable market solution or market demand, so that type of project will not be so supported or that not be funded. Gone are the days whenever we are preparing a project based on our curriculum and submitting to this thing to different funding agencies, and our objective was to work on that project to 2 to 3 years or more, and having some 2 to 3 papers in research publications, and that's end the this thing. Nobody knows what are the research product, nobody knows what are the research contribution, and nobody tried to start the further course of action where the particular research ends, and it has to take a next stage also that way. So in that cases, it's a very right time, and it's a very right choice also to identify or to having a very distinct problem statement in whichever area, and to design the project or prepare the proposal according to the clear-cut demand of the product or process, or benchmarking with new technologies which is available in elsewhere, and to submit the proposal to the concerned funding agency, which has to submit their things. Suppose as we discussed, like environment, forest, or climate change department is there at Government of India. So to fund all types of related projects related to environment, forest, climate change, where the chemistry has a central role or something like that. The Department of Scientific and Industrial Research, DSIR, CSIR, that also they have also research support, and mostly CSIR projects are mostly related to chemistry, chemical engineering, chemical technology type of things, which has to develop, because now in India, so we have 40 CSIR network labs, one in also established in our Bhavnagar also Central Salt and Marine Chemical Research Institute. They are doing their lots of work in this hardcore chemistry and chemical engineering part also. We have another unit of Central Glass, Ceramic Glass and Ceramic Research Institute CGCRI, which has its headquarters at Kolkata, but another unit here in Ahmedabad, in our Batua industrial area. So they are also helping us in designing and bringing the new product in the ceramic chemistry as well as the ceramic products also. So they are also looking some sort of product oriented, process oriented, and that type of project proposals to work with the university departments and faculties. Ministry of Food Processing of Government of India, they also having a lots of projects, grants for designing and developing of different food processing types of unit. Suppose in a recent coronavirus time, we have seen from the reports that there was a lockdown and there was for continuously 15 to 1 month, there was a stop of all physical activities, including the transportations. So there was a big jolt, big problem or challenge was there for all our farmers who have a lots of product in their farm, but there is nobody to take away or to take to the nearest market. So all the food products, particularly our horticultural fruits and vegetables, our different type of crops also that was there. So for this we need a very timely food processing unit so that it can be taken care of that type of transitional time. We have a Ministry of Non-Conventional Energy Sources. We for all the renewable sources as well as the energy conservation, energy storage, energy development, new type of batteries, fuel cells, all these types which are the main major course of the chemistry and chemical engineering, chemical sciences. We have Ministry of Water Resources, which is also taken care of optimal use of water and water related research in contamination, in the potability, in the converting the sea water, saline water to the potable drinking water in a very affordable, in a very simpler cost type of things. These are the societal problem. These are the state and national priority areas, and we need the real chemistry to come and give the solution to that one. We have Department of Education, which has now a very bigger role. I will talk to in the latter stages, latter slides. We have Science and Technology, which is also aligned with all the line departments for applications of rural development to hardcore research, both in basic science as well as the applied science, with the prototype development and also technology transfer and pilot deployment type of things. With the DST, they have so many interdisciplinary departments also, with the working with the grassroots level in NGOs and the college and university professors and research scientists also. So all these details there in the website, and I'll be sharing this PPT also to all the faculty, so you can take the note of every funding agency in detail and prepare your proposals accordingly. So we have Science and Technology for weaker sections also, and the Department of Chemical and Petrochemicals, Ministry of Chemical Fertilizers, and so many. We have just I've listed out few major departments or major ministries, but in addition to that, we have skill development, we have defense, we have so many other departments are also there. So next to ministries, we have national bodies like UGC, we have CSIR, we have DST, both the Government of India and the state government. We have Department of Biotechnology, Department of Ocean Development, we have Department of Meteorology, we have Department of Earth Sciences, we have Department of Health. So many departments also there, and now the Government of India is also preparing the new versions of a science, technology, innovation policy, where there is a demand to increase the GDP percentage in the R&D field, so that will be enhance or groom the research in the particular disciplines or in all disciplines, and to create a ecosystem in every state, every institutions, and that will be giving the innovation to the country. So in that line, in Gujarat, we are fortunate to have our own Department of Science and Technology. And on 2018, it's 15 April, it's a very historical day. During that day, the state government has approved the draft science, technology and innovation policy of Gujarat, which was prepared by Guj Coast with a series of brainstorming sessions with scientists, engineers, policy makers, and the other different stakeholders. Finally, the government of Gujarat has approved the draft, and it was announced on 15th April by Honorable Chief Ministers, and which is giving a very clear-cut dimension that how best the state government and on which the Guj Coast is the implementing agency of the science, technology and innovation policy, so they can help the different faculties, different researchers, scientists of the country, of the state, to take this research as a priority area, and to work on some sort of societal development and solid contributions. So with this science and technology policy, we have created a dedicated STI fund that we called as Innovation Fund. And under Innovation Fund, we have operating two schemes for supporting the research and development in the state, and to groom the faculties, and to create a research ecosystem in the university department of the state. The scheme one is the research support scheme for to all the faculties of professors in the university department, colleges, in science, technology and engineers, who can submit a proposal on the state priority areas, and which can be supported with the financial limit up to the 50 lakh per proposal. And the PI has to work on this type of proposal up to 3 years, and this proposal has to be evaluated by our technical advisory committee, and then it has to be once it has been recommended and approved by the executive committee of the Guj Coast, then this project has to be awarded, and the research professor the research PI, concerned PI should start the work in this 50 lakh. It is just like a handsome amount. So here they can have the provision of engaging some GRF, SRF to carry out the work. They have to procure some sort of instruments up to 30% of the total grant. So that would be a value addition to the laboratory, and with this type of research in every year, they can build a very enriched laboratory with a good type of equipment and ecosystem also there to motivate. And the skill is pilot deployment technology. Some disturbance is there. The scheme 2 is pilot deployment of technology, in which we don't want the research to be started again. We don't want to reinvent the wheel, but for any of the problems or challenges faced by the civic communities, the common people. So that type of, and for which we don't have a technology right now in our state or in our lab or in our department, but that type of technology is available elsewhere in the country or elsewhere in the world. So we can bring that technology and deploy and install here for the benefit of our common people. So that we called as technology development or pilot deployment of technology for the public service needs and civic needs. So this type of technology is a ready made technologies which can be installed once it has been approved through the consent process. So this also, for each of the pilot plant, we have a 50 lakh of a project grant. So with these two schemes, you can see that one scheme is encouraging the research faculties and scientists to do the hardcore research and bring some sort of product. And the second thing, so DRDO, like they have a dedicated service, but they have a huge fund for research and development. And that type of research is very self-satisfying, that we have to develop some sort of technology in biomedical. Human adaptation to extreme environment, nutrition, video protection, against human, animal, and plant pathogens, specialized food technology, vector and malaria control, biotechnology, and so on. and which chemical detection, protection, and decontamination is the major concern is also there. So all these things is related to chemistry and chemical sciences and chemical engineering. I think all our faculties may go through their guidelines and identify the problem statement and devise the proposal accordingly. We have another big organization like Board of Research in Nuclear Science under the Department of Atomic Energy, BRNS, where the nuclear research is the focal point, but under nuclear research, nuclear power and nuclear sciences, it is also part of chemical sciences, where they can find the nuclear science, engineering and technology, use nodal funding agency, and to give you a very in terms of health hygiene, in terms of new healthcare, in terms of food protection, food preservation, food supply, and so many types of these things. And all the details can be available, and PIs can go to the research site and to get the right information. For the energy sector, for the conservation of energy and development and design of new energy sources and energy storage also, the Ministry of New and Renewable Energy, MNRI of Government of India, has a huge resource grant for developing and designing new technologies in terms of ocean, geothermal and so on. So all their formats are available also, and I have given this slide and can PIs Department of Chemical and Petrochemicals. They are also very inviting and very encouraging for all the PIs to work on.
Dr. Saul sir.